What's up, everybody? We're back kicking it stateside for a beautiful Saturday. We got some good shit to talk about today. We have the Champions League's back. My friend Bryan, I forgot to say hello. How are you, my bud?
I'm great. How are you? Happy birthday.
Yay! Hey, birthday for the Kickin' It Stateside clan here. A year ago, around this time, we put out our first episode on Spotify, and now a year later we are here.
Here we are.
Rolling along.
Still going.
Still
what a
going.
year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, I would say. Obviously, COVID had no help in that at all, but we're still kicking, literally. Still rocking along. Again, thanks for everybody who's been with us since, our day ones, our OG people that have been following. And since we've been starting on A2D, obviously, everything's been even better. So,
yeah, we appreciate all the love and support, guys. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who has tuned in and all our new fans that we picked up from A2D back in October. And that was my SAP story for the day.
No more sappiness.
No more. We're just going to get down to the nitty gritty. Today we have, obviously the Prem season is done. We had the championship final. That's done. Fulham got past Brentford on Tuesday, I believe.
Tuesday or Wednesday, yeah.
So we have our three people. Tuesday. We have our three teams that will be joining the Prem next season, which is only like a month and a half away.
Yeah, so we're right around the corner.
Less than that.
We're almost at an exact month.
Which is kind of crazy since we just finished up and we still have Champions League probably until the end of August.
Yeah, all these sports, obviously soccer being most on the forefront right now because it's the most leagues playing around the world. But these off seasons are going to be very short, compact, and you're going to have to make moves quick and ready to go and get running for the next campaign here. So,
yeah, getting all the guys probably a quick little vacation holiday here. Probably if you're not playing Champions League, probably got like a week or two to kind of refresh, recharge the batteries, and then you're back to training here.
Yeah.
I know Germany's already pretty much in their preseason already, so
it's awesome.
It'll be interesting to see how this new, and it's not that far off. I mean, maybe a month they pushed everything pretty much back to try and sort of get back on the same schedule that it was. So it'll probably finish in, I guess, May again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, again. Who knows with all this craziness going on. But yeah, so we have our three teams coming back to the Prem. Obviously, Fulham with a nice win, getting back after their only 1 year absence from the Premier League.
Yeah, they did it the way, most of these guys hope to do it. And, no one wants to get relegated, but you try to make it right back up as quick as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you like to see, well, that's like the story that you want. I mean, you don't want to be like the other team, Leeds, who it took, 14 or 16 years, whatever it was, to eventually get back.
Yeah.
That 1 year away, it's great. It's great for them. They get some money out of it. Not that we talked about this during the week that, they spent $100 million the last time they got up to the Prem 2 years ago, and they still got relegated. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So their manager...
It's not always what you spend, it's how you spend it.
Find some of these diamonds in the rough, like we've been saying. I know obviously, if you don't know, the Fulham owner is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shadi Khan. He came out and said that they're trying not to they're not really looking to upgrade the squad too much. They kind of like what they got. which I think is kind of smart. I don't know who else they can convince to join their team unless somebody from a championship side that maybe has a little bit of potential.
Yeah, we're an old Fulham, kind of rotational type guy that may have left that might have interest in coming back. But I don't see them going crazy again. They spent the money. Their biggest thing is holding on to Mitrovic because, he is Fulham right now.
Absolutely.
At this point, 26 goals this past season, leading the way for that team. So without him, that team would be in some serious trouble.
For sure.
So we'll see what they do. Maybe a move, something small here and there, but
yeah, I wouldn't expect anything too crazy.
No, as you can tell by the way he runs the Jaguars too, he doesn't like to spend his money. So.
Moneyball approach.
Yeah. So, but welcome back, Fulham.
Welcome back, Fulham. I got
always better with Fulham.
My poster.
Yeah, I like your poster.
And the other team, West Brom and obviously Leeds, are the two automatic promotions. We'll kind of get into that. That'll be probably our first topic here this morning. Champions League obviously is back. Europa League's back. We had a big upset yesterday. Lyon freaking beats the old lady in Juve and squeaks through.
Yeah, steals. We said it in the last show how important that road goal, 1-0 victory in the first leg was. For some of those who may have been confused, they see the final score 2-1 Juve yesterday. But it was not enough. It was aggregate 2-2, and the road goal plays monstrous. Or I should say the road goal yesterday, not the first game, but winning that first game at home, 1-0, and then getting that road goal yesterday was the difference. Yeah.
Which again, there was some controversy on the penalty, I guess.
Yeah, but one of Ronaldo's was pretty controversial too. So
right, and again, VAR, which again, part of my poll question on our YouTube, all the YouTube people out there, that did VAR have a great season as a whole? I would say, probably not the best.
No,
but again, that's something we can really dive into later. Obviously, again, Man City was able to hold off a Sergio Ramos-less Real Madrid. Basically gifted him a few goals. Varane had a terrible match. Probably the worst match of his career. Just gifting, again, 2 goals for them. So City and Lyon are through. And then we have 2 games later today. We have Bayern and Chelsea. And also we have Barcelona and Napoli at 3 o'clock. Again, we'll kind of get into that later in the show. Also, we have the MLS is back. The Restart Tournament, we are at a final 2. We have the championship is decided. Unfortunately, the Union fell short for all our Philly people out there. They lost to the Portland Timbers 2-1, and they are coming back with no silverware, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was pulling for you, but
yeah,
that's
we
not the
talked
semifinal.
about it a little bit, but
I don't know. Yeah, it's not the semifinal game that you want to have, but
it's again not the time to really lay an egg like that. And again, there's so many games in that little of time. I think you could just tell that some of the guys they're just gassed.
Yeah, I just don't understand how Bedoya doesn't take that penalty. That's your team. That's your team leader. I've seen him convert penalties in the past in big situations. That was one of the biggest in the past year or so. I feel like you got to have your captain take that. I don't quite get it, but
I think it's just funny that why the guy that doesn't even take penalties like at all, that was his first one, decides this is the time to step up in a semifinal game.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, there's a reason. Clearly, we saw why he doesn't get the opportunity to take penalties.
Yeah.
Didn't even touch the bar.
Oh, don't worry, Eddie. We'll get to you, buddy. I will read your comment off. Don't worry.
We love Eddie.
Eddie is our OG here. But yes, that's a good segue, Eddie. Thank you for being our third member here. Obviously, the poll question, we have the nominees for Young Player of the Prem came out earlier this week. Obviously, there's the Liverpool guys. Oxlade-Chamberlain's on that. Obviously, Pulisic is on it. Mason Greenwood. I think Rashford might have been on it too. I forget the other ones. Dean Henderson. Was Dean on it?
Dean makes the list.
But yeah, Eddie said Christian Pulisic deserves the Young Player of the Year in the EPL. This should be known by the vote of the fan, and he votes Dean Henderson, which I think Dean Henderson is a solid option.
Dean Henderson's, yeah.
I just think it's tough for a goalie to win that award because they're going to look at, see who produced the numbers. Probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's Alexander-Arnold, just because Liverpool won the league and he played a pretty significant role. That would be who I vote for. Probably.
I guess if it's just strictly off like an age restriction, I don't know exactly how that works, but because it's not like a newcomer. I guess it's a young player, so I'm assuming there's a certain age cutoff for that award. So I could definitely see Alexander-Arnold leading the way for that, like you said, with the Liverpool connection. How good of a season he had.
Yeah, it seems like they would be front runners just because how good of pretty much any Liverpool player probably has a good shot at winning certain awards at their positions just because of the season they had. But yeah, I don't know. Again, that's our poll question today. Do you think that Christian Pulisic should win the Young Player of the Year award in the Prem? It's a good debate. He definitely had a good season, but again, injuries kind of kept him from really reaching that upper echelon, I would say.
Yeah, that's the fear with him.
And moving forward, I guess that's the issue.
It's going to be a big issue, it seems.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good debate. Let us know what you think. Thank you, Eddie, for for your vote. I think it's a solid one. Again, it's going to be tough for Dean. I think he had a great season for sure, but as a goalie, he's got some. Hopefully, there's a lot of goalies that are voting in the actual.
I was going to say it is voted by the players.
That's right.
Anybody that he had a big save against during their run this year maybe gets his vote. So
that might be like, ooh, okay. He saved my PK. He deserves it.
Pulisic won't win it because they won't vote an American.
Yeah, unfortunately. Let's not bring a man's where he was born. That's not right. But yeah, it is important. And always we obviously the transfer windows open again.
Yes,
in Europe, so we can kind of see what's the hot tea that's going on out there. What's the latest rumors? Obviously, with Leverkusen out of the Europa League, we will see what Kai Havertz. Or they still have another leg?
Yeah, they play Inter.
Oh, they moved on.
They moved on.
I thought they lost. Oh,
they did not.
Shows what I know. Shows that I'm paying attention to the Europa League.
I do, because that's usually where Arsenal's been the last 6 years. So.
That's true.
Yeah. I become
Uh,
very tight knit with the Europa League, way more than Champions League. So
it happens, and that's my bad.
that's
Hand
okay.
up, hand up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All the good stuff, rocking and rolling here. Obviously, before we get going, we got to shout out our sponsors. Obviously, we got the Ambuck Services guys. We had a major storm on Tuesday that pretty much wiped all of Pennsylvania and New Jersey out. Basically, it seemed like.
Yeah, for some
So
people, still might not have power. So
got no power, maybe some trees down. You got some shit in your gutters. Call the Ambuck guys. I'm sure they'll give you a hand. You don't want to get out there, hurt yourself.
yeah, they're going to be super busy, I think, this week and next week coming up with everything that's been going on. Hopefully, last night's storm didn't do too much damage as well.
Yeah, everyone's already kind of flooded out, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in that South Jersey area. That's a big area. My friends live out there. I took a ride down there. There was a lot of trees down, a lot of things going on. So definitely, if you need some help, these guys are here to help. That's what they do. So not only do they just do the gutters and all that stuff, but they can pretty much handle anything you need.
They'll tackle your outdoor needs.
Yes.
But yeah, you could find them at ambuckservices.com or give them a call, 856-879-5530. Also, our shout out to the good doc at Specialized Physical Therapy, Paul Vidal.
Dr. Paul.
I saw that he lost some power from the storms, knocked it out, but they are restored. All is right with the world. So you can call him again. Don't hesitate. If you're, again, we got kids sports starting up again. If you try to be the super dad, super coach, hurt yourself. You need some realigning or whatever the case may be. You could visit our boy Paul Vidal and his team at Specialized Physical Therapy. And you know where they're at: Burlington, Cherry Hill, and the beautiful Princeton, New Jersey.
You better know by now.
You best know the three, as I say every damn week.
Put it in your GPS.
It's a beautiful thing, that GPS.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get popping. So we got the three teams, like we mentioned in the beginning, that are back in the Prem. Leeds, West Brom, Fulham, the three that will be joining us next season. So what are your expectations, I guess, for these three, kind of like we did with Sheffield Norwich last year?
Well,
anything crazy?
I would say with Leeds, the pressure's probably on the most. You were the best team in the championship the previous season. They scored 93 points. They had a plus 42 goal differential. So they could definitely put the ball in the net. They were led by Mr. Patrick Bamford, who's
Former Chelsea lad.
yeah, the guy scores. Like I was
Daddy.
looking up stats and kind of his history, and he's been all over the place. But pretty much everywhere he's been outside of the teams he's been with the Prem, he's found a way to put the ball in the net. I think they're going to need to spend a little bit of money. I think they plan to spend a little bit of money. I think they plan to improve a little bit. They are a very veteran team. I noticed a lot of guys in their, late 20s to early to mid 30s on this roster. So they were a team that was built to win in the championship. But then, when an older team like that comes to the Prem, you got to get a little bit younger as well to go along with that veteran core, or you're going to really wipe yourself out in the long Prem season. So, again, he's a guy I'm going to look to hopefully put the ball in the net for them. They do have a young, promising winger in Jack Harrison.
Jack Eddie.
He was a NYFC guy.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years in the MLS. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is actually then was purchased by Man City and maybe out on loan. This might be a loan still. I'm not 100% sure. Or if
I believe that's correct. He was purchased by Man City.
Yeah, so he had 6 goals, 8 assists this past season, 23-year-old. Converted defender playing some wing. And he another one who finds a way to score the ball. So, I mean, I got big expectations for Leeds. I expect Leeds to find a way after a 16-year hiatus to spend a few bucks and get this team a little bit of help and find a way to stay up.
I mean, for them, they had an incredible season. Obviously, Patty finally got his goal-scoring shoes on. That's kind of been his MO. I know with Chelsea why they've been loaning him out pretty much every season, that he just struggled trying to get, obviously, first-team minutes and putting the ball in the back of the net. But I believe he's a Leeds player. I think that was a straight-up buy.
Yeah, he is. Pat Bamford is owned by Leeds at this point now.
But yeah, like you said, Jack Harrison, the Man City former NYCFC draft pick. I think he was born in England, and then he went to college at, I want to say, Wake Forest, some ACC school, but he killed it over there. And then he was drafted, I think, in the top 2, either 1 or 2. I forget which order, but he kills it at NYCFC, and then obviously the partnership with NYCFC being owned by Manchester City, he was able to get bought out by them and then on loan, obviously, because he's not going to get first-team minutes there. So that's another guy that everyone should probably be on the lookout for, because he'll probably stay on loan at Leeds, I'd say, another season, or they're just going to buy him, because I don't see him really fitting in at Manchester City, unfortunately.
No, especially, I mean, they're just going to spend money. They're not going to bring a kid like him back at this point yet.
Yeah. And it's good for him because now he can really test his skills, see if he can play at like a lower level side or a mid-table Prem team. He's kind of putting on an audition for himself.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of these Leeds guys made stints in Middlesbrough. I don't know what the connection there seems to be either. But Bamford and Harrison have both made stops there. So,
Xhaka.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, again, if there was a team that I would probably put them in order of how they would finish, I would probably say that they would finish probably the lowest next season in the Prem, just based off of history and probably the experience of Fulham. At least most of the guys on Fulham now were on that team 2 years ago that were in the Prem. So they at least have that under their belt. Granted, they weren't very good.
No, they weren't good at all.
But they at least have a little bit of experience that they can lean on, because not saying that Leeds will finish as bad as Norwich did, but if I had to rank Leeds, I would say that they're probably going to be the probably third out of the 3, at least finishing wise. Bold prediction.
Very, very,
very bold. I know. I mean,
hating on my Leeds already.
I like Leeds. Don't get me wrong. I think Pablo Hernandez. He was a good player in the Prem there for a little bit. He's on Leeds.
Yeah, he led that team in assists as well. He was tied, I think, with Harrison with 8 assists.
He was on. I forget. I think he was on Swansea there when they were in the Prem, but he had 9 goals, 9 assists last season. So. Excuse me. I would assume that they're going to lean on him.
It's a good team.
I mean, Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I know Eddie, Eddie was helping them early in the year before Arsenal decided to pull him back.
Yeah, that was a big one too.
Yeah, he was helping them win some games early in the season. So it was a smart move by Arsenal pulling him back when they did. But
for sure.
He might be offered back out again. Who knows?
Never know, man.
Yeah.
It's still young. We'll see what happens this summer.
But I'm predicting Leeds probably, me personally, I think out of the three, they probably have the most firepower. As long as they can keep everybody and possibly add some help, we'll see.
Yeah, I think it couldn't hurt. We'll see how some of these guys, like I said, Patty and Jack Harrison do in the Prem, because this is their big chance here.
Yeah.
Eddie says, I think one of the promoted Premier League sides could be a surprise again, kind of like how Sheffield was this season. He would prefer Leeds get the higher of the three, which I would kind of like the same too. But again, the newly promoted teams that haven't been in the league much are usually don't finish very high.
Yeah, 16-year layoff's tough, but
I think they do really need to improve. They need to bring in, I think, maybe some defensive help and maybe get like another striker to pair with Pat.
Yeah.
Other than that, sky's the limit, man. I think a lot of these teams are seeing, what Sheffield did this past season. They
want Cavani.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if Cavani wants to do that.
Yeah. There's always going to be one guy out there that's willing to take on that chance of being the man at a new team and keeping them up. Veteran somewhere out there. So
I mean, the problem is if he really wants to take a little bit of a pay cut, that's up to him.
Yeah.
I know it's PSG, chase the money around, but it ain't the PSG no more, friend. This is the Prem.
Yo, what's up, Obi? Obi's checking in.
Chris O'Brien.
That's my old homie, Obi. Thanks, man. Thanks for checking in.
He's kicking it.
He is kicking it. So let's move on to West Brom.
Let's do it.
Maybe the most talented individual player out of the three teams. I mean, well, I don't want to put down Mitrovic, but I guess because he's older, I'm thinking most talented young player out of the three teams coming up in Matthias Pereira.
Yeah.
Big time scorer for West Brom. Pretty much led the way for them this year. 24-year-old Brazilian, had 8 goals, 16 assists.
16
assists.
That's some De Bruyne numbers.
Yeah, so this is a kid they're going to look to hopefully push them. Hopefully he's not one that goes out. They are saying that he is now a target because this is what happens. A team gets promoted, and everybody else wants to look at and say, oh, who's their best player? Let's see if we can buy him instead of going against him. So he is one name that is being kicked around, but if they can do their best to hold on to him for their first year up, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, for sure. Good news is that Charlie Austin's back in the Prem.
I was just gonna say that. I knew.
Dark horse for comeback player of the year.
You were gonna be thrilled to see Charlie Austin.
He's like Danny Ings 2.0.
He is. What he spent his last 4 years prior to this past year at Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
So another one of those just not sexy strikers.
But he gets the job done.
He does. What do you have? 10 goals, I think. He led the team this year for them.
10 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, so the old Saint and Queens Park Ranger, Charlie Austin.
I'm more pumped about that than anything.
Yeah, just having Charlie Austin back in the Prem. You'll probably draft him in fantasy. You'll drop him after he doesn't score the first 3 weeks, then he'll have a hat trick.
That usually happens with me.
Yeah,
like Chris Wood, I dropped his ass and then he started scoring.
Yeah. So we all know Adam's very happy to have Charlie Austin back in the Prem.
I'm pumped. I thought, again, he's not a very sexy name, or he doesn't really have the flash at all, but he gets the job done.
He
just
does.
scores goals. So hopefully we see Charlie Austin banging in at least maybe 10 this year, because they definitely are going to need him to contribute.
I was going to say they need somebody to do it.
Because I don't think they are going to get too many big name offers for other people that they could bring in. Obviously, I know that Callum Robinson was on loan from Sheffield in the middle of the season. I don't know if they can loan him out or buy him. I don't know.
I believe he's still there. I don't think Sheffield's going to be pulling him back. So he's kind of, the youth forward that they can pair with Charlie.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to be able to run the two. The Irishman, Callum Robinson. So
yeah, how about that? He's old as hell too.
He's so young. He's not that old. He just seems old because he's another one that's just been around.
How Robinson Kanu?
Robinson Kanu too, yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah, I mean, West Brom looks like the more Sheffield type team. A lot of English players, a few mix of the others, but kind of more of a tight knit English bunch.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think they still need a little bit of help as far as revamping their squad to be at that Premier League level, but they had a pretty good season this year. They sort of faltered at the end and made it a little interesting for the likes of Fulham and Brentford to catch them, but they can make some signings, and maybe, this Brera kid can step up and Charlie Austin can bang in at least 10. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
What did Eddie say? Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Marcelo Bielsa. Probably the best manager out of the three. Slaven Bilic isn't a bad manager either for West Brom. That'll be fun to have him back. His antics on the sideline are always enjoyable.
Yeah. And your Fulham guy now, too.
Scotty Parker.
Yeah. With his super tight suit and his skinny tie.
I love it. Best dressed man out there.
Yeah. I think he took Unai Emery's wardrobe.
Ooh, the vampire dress. Also, I could see. Yeah, Bielsa's a good coach. I don't know. We'll see what he's got. I don't know. Maybe it's just Leeds season. Maybe it's just destiny that they just bought into what he had to say. I don't know.
I like the direction that team's going.
You got to hope that Bielsa doesn't get, picked up. There's rumblings that Barcelona maybe was going to take a shot at him.
Yeah, well, somebody else needs a coach too, which I'll mention.
That's true. That was
a later portion of the show.
Breaking news this morning, but we'll get into that. I don't know.
So,
we'll see if some of these there are 3 coaches on all 3 clubs are pretty solid coaches.
Yes.
So
you say that now, and
one out of the 3 will be fired
within the first 2 months of the season.
Exactly. We're saying, they're great, and then they'll be canned.
Yeah. One of them will be on their way out, I'm sure,
after
a slow start. But yeah, Fulham, again, we talked about them. They're the last to get in. It took a little bit of will in this playoff here for them to get through. Unfortunately for Brentford, they just can't seem to make it, man.
No matter what.
That team has when I was watching the game, they've been in that playoff 9 times. And I think they've been in the final 6 of it, and they have not been promoted. So they have not played in England's top flight, I think, since like the 30s. So the poor Brentford Bees are out. Fulham's in. Joe Bryan, the hero.
Oh my God.
The man with the last name the same as my first. Big Joe Bryan fan.
Has an absolutely insane match.
Just incredible.
That little 1-2 he had for the second goal was like looked like Barcelona out there.
Yeah. This guy's
like,
a left back.
What a run and a finish. Like, what the hell?
He's just your run-of-the-mill left back and, just shows up in a big clutch spot.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that free kick that he had was people
cheeky.
keep saying it was genius. I'm like, I don't know. That goalie was terribly placed on his line, and he dove, and the bar was already past him.
He had way too much faith in his wall and didn't. He figured that wall was going to handle all of it, and Joe Bryan.
It was a good hit, but not that good.
Yeah, he was completely caught off guard. And it's a shame, too, because that goalie was playing phenomenal.
Yeah, he had a strong campaign for sure.
Yeah, very strong campaign. But
one
big mistake really opened the door there. And that goal was awesome, though. A little deception.
It was cool, yeah. Nice training ground move that paid off.
Yeah.
Joe Bryan, the hero, gets the West London Derby.
I think out of the three teams, Fulham probably is the best as far as goalkeeping goes too. I know they got Marek Rodek, the Slovakian goalie, younger. Yeah. I know Leeds has Kiko Casilla, who had a really good year, but I think he's approaching like 34 now, where this kid Rodek is
youngster,
about 24, 25. So they got a good, bright future with him too. Again, we talk about it over and over and over. We can make all our predictions. We can make all our guesses. We're really going to have to see what these teams do in this short off season, what they can add, what they lose, before we can, I think, really make any solid predictions on who's going to stay up and who's not. Because right now it's too soon to tell. There's got to be a little bit of movement coming. They're not going to be any big flashy names, I think, between any of the three teams, but it's going to be depth, and it's going to be more of what they lose as opposed to what they gain, I think, is going to be the telling factor for these teams.
Yeah, what did Eddie say? Oh, yeah. That was our secret, getting sacked later when we get into our world news. But yes, that was the breaking news this morning. If cat's out of the bag, but yes, Maurizio Sarri is sacked by Juventus after getting knocked out of the Champions League. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more in depth later. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of him at Chelsea. Still not a fan of his cigarette smoking ass anymore. It's whatever to me. But yeah, I think the key for Fulham is to watch Mitrovic actually shows up next season, because he's a head case. He's known to get a red card once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
He'll lose his shit. So if they could keep him on the field and keep him happy, again, you got to baby him because he's, a little bit sensitive out there and he plays what he wants to play. But
if they keep him at all,
great.
He could be on teams' radars as well, though. That's the other thing now. After a season like he had,
and he's only 20. He's only 25.
Yeah, how about that?
It seemed like he's been around forever, but I guess he really hasn't been. He kind of broke on with Fulham 2 years ago, and that was his big coming out party.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be a target. So, and they might be in a situation where the money's attractive.
I mean, Fulham, they're not going to wow anybody. Again, they spent all that money 2 years ago, and it didn't help at all. And they're rebuilding Craven Cottage, the one side of the stands, I heard. So they're trying to make it more attractive. But again, it's the problem with West London, you got a team, like right down, literally 2 subway stops away in Chelsea. It's like all the West London people are probably Chelsea fans, unless you actually grew up by Craven Cottage. You're probably a Chelsea fan. And even then, you probably still aren't a Fulham fan. Like that was when we were in London, that was the easiest ticket to get to Fulham because it's cheap, and it's attractive for tourists. It's a tourist club. That's why I saw Men in Blazers were making a joke about, oh, it's like the America's team Fulham, because everybody that comes from the U.S. that wants to see a game
goes to Fulham
because tickets are available and they're cheap.
Yeah,
because the other one,
Tim Ream.
Yeah, that's the real reason.
Everybody wants to go watch.
Everybody wants Tim Ream.
Yes.
Sorry, back in the EPL. Hell no.
Probably not.
He's not suited for the Prem.
He's not.
I don't understand how he does anything. He just sits there and smokes cigarettes. And in London, in England, you're not allowed to smoke in the dugouts on the sideline.
Yeah,
he would just chew on his like nub of the cigarette just to get the nicotine. He's a freaking fiend.
He'll probably end up somewhere else in Italy.
Yeah. Or he'll go to like maybe like Spain.
Maybe.
He'll take over like a lower club there. But yeah, I don't see him coming back to the Prem. I don't think anybody would take a shot at him. His time at Chelsea was a debacle.
Yeah, you got to be in pretty bad shape. Maybe Watford will call him.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even think he could turn that team around. And I don't think he would take a championship job either.
Speaking of, I think Bournemouth does the double dip.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're going to let go of everybody. They have a new manager, too.
Yeah. Ake's out. They're going to lose Callum Wilson. They're most likely going to lose Josh King.
And Harry Wilson. He'll be loaned out again by Liverpool, but not to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Probably Prem side.
Most likely. Maybe one of these new teams.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, they could use them, I'm sure. Liverpool sure as hell doesn't need them.
No, they don't need them at all. So
it's funny that I think Bournemouth, the only person they're going to be stuck with is like Dan Gosling.
Yeah.
That's it.
They need Dan Gosling.
And you see Sheffield was trying to get Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth.
I don't blame him. Aaron Ramsdale's the only good player on Bournemouth.
Yeah, he can't stay there.
No, the kid's 21 years old. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. He needs to get out of there. I guess Sheffield's assuming that if Dino's going back to United, they're going to need a replacement, and that's a solid replacement.
That's almost like not even missing a beat.
Yeah.
2 solid guys right there. I think they bid like $12 million on him, and they said no, which is kind of a low ball. I'd say he's worth maybe 15 plus.
Yeah.
Just because he's young.
They'll take it eventually.
They're going to have to.
Yeah.
Especially, I know it's not League One, but I saw that League One and League Two agreed to do a salary cap.
Interesting.
So that kind of sucks for them.
Yeah.
So it's a capped off
at
$1.2 million. It's
going to make it a lot harder.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
But
to make it hard to grow a team from the beginning and get out of there.
Yeah. Now it's even more important to get up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was kind of the rundown of our 3. Again, I think I want to say Fulham will finish the highest, but Fulham also had a terrible time when they were in the EPL last go round, so I don't really know
Yeah, I'm gonna save any type of that for when we do the preseason show. Because, like I said, I need to see who's coming in, who's going out.
Yeah, there's still a lot of movement to be done in the
Yeah, there's way too many
window.
variables right now uh, to put a stamp on anything at this point. But it's kind of just a brief look into to welcoming these three teams back and kind of
Yeah.
seeing who was key catalysts last year and kind
We
of pumped up.
wanted to give them a proper welcome.
Yeah, man, we're literally what today is 8th.
Yep.
So, and I believe the season is supposed to fire back up on the 12th of September. So we're literally at that like
We're pretty much there here.
1 month window here.
Before you know it, we're going to be back.
Yeah. I guess we can go Europa if you want.
Yeah.
Some
of the Prem teams that were in it.
Yeah, we got 2 Prem teams left, so we're down to a quarterfinals. They are 1 leg, these quarterfinals. It is not a 2-leg quarterfinal. So it is a single leg. Got 8 teams left. They will play on the 10th and the 11th. So they are some of the first games coming up in this week. Again, another super busy week between Europa, Champions League, the MLS final. I believe we actually have a USL final today, too. So there's always plenty of stuff. The Russian Super Cup was just on.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's still a ton of games going on. But as far as Europa goes, just briefly on the 10th, you got, I would say, the favorite or one of the favorites out of the final 8, Man United, the Prem squad taking on Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
A Denmark squad. So that's a major gift for United.
Yeah, the Copenhagen coach said that if you beat United, I'll give you my bonus for the season.
That's
great incentive.
That's a very confident guy that his team's not going to win.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm just going to give you all my money.
Yeah, win and you can have everything.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he's already probably getting a pretty sweet bonus getting them to the quarters. It was a kind of an unexpected run for this team to make it to this far. So, yeah. So I guess in the beauty of rooting for an underdog, I'll probably be a Copenhagen fan for
sure
on the 10th.
Even though United's been playing pretty good.
Yeah, it should probably be like a 4-0 United victory, to be honest with you. I think if you want your best betting odds out of any of the remaining games, Copenhagen probably gives you the highest.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely you'll lose your money.
Oh, yeah.
So
oh, yeah. Save that money, boys.
Second, also that day at 3 p.m., we have Inter and Leverkusen. So,
that's an intriguing match.
Yes, the aforementioned Leverkusen did find a way to hang on. And yeah, that's probably your two your better teams remaining that have to face each other. Inter has been rolling along. Lukaku, Eriksen, since he's made the move over there.
Alexis Sanchez signed.
They purchased and finally the Man U debacle of taking Alexis Sanchez off Arsenal's hands.
Oh, man, got fleeced.
Is now over, and he is now full property of Inter and seems to be happy. Seems to be enjoying his time there.
He's loving Italy now.
Yeah. So that game should be, out of the two, definitely the more interesting, more competitive game.
Inter's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
They got that young stud striker, Lautaro Martinez, who's getting looked at by a lot of big clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, Inter's a good squad. Top 4 team in Italy, and
they signed my boy Hakimi.
Yeah, they did.
Making moves, man.
I would say they're probably the other favorite out of the remaining 8 teams. If you had to pick,
I think them and United are going to probably meet in the final.
Yeah, that's kind of the prediction amongst most of the experts here.
barring a miracle by Copenhagen. Even I know you're probably going to segue into this, but Wolves.
I like Wolves. We can go right into that.
Wolves is getting
They
by.
do have a sneaky tough matchup though in Sevilla.
Oh shit, yeah.
Sevilla is no slack, and they are used to competing in Champions League and or Europa League. They're kind of a perennial in either or.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, if I was the Wolves, I would not overlook them, but they get past this game and it could change
I
the whole.
like if they somehow meet United, I kind of like them against United.
Yeah. Now, I mean, they did struggle a little bit with Olympiacos, but Olympiacos knocked out Arsenal too, so maybe they were a little bit better squad than a lot of people gave them credit for. But
Well,
Wolves
I don't
found
know.
their way with an early penalty in that game.
Raul
Got out of there.
Jimenez.
Raul Jimenez 1-0 win in that one. So
Oh, that's right. Sevilla does have that left back that's a stud that Chelsea's probably going to buy.
yeah, he's been in the talks.
Thank you, RTG.
Yes, he was definitely in the talks.
Reguilon.
He's on Chelsea's list along with Chilwell. I know Chilwell's still on Chelsea's list as well.
The Ben Chilwell rumor is cooling down.
I hope you get Joe Bryan.
I hope not. I really hope not. But
And let's see, rounding out the corners, you have Shakhtar
Donetsk.
from the Ukrainian league facing FC Basel from the Swiss
Basel,
league.
Swiss, nice.
Yes, so
toss up.
There's still a little diversity left in Europa with one Denmark, one Bundesliga, one Italian league, one La Liga, the Ukrainian, the Swiss, and the two Prems.
That's the beauty of the Europa League. You're getting teams that you probably never heard of playing a team you never heard of.
Yeah.
And somebody's going through of that Basel and Donetsk.
Yeah, so one of them is going to be in the Final Four, which is awesome.
Shakhtar, nice. That's where all the Brazilians go.
Yeah, they seem to like it there.
Tyson, I don't even know. Alex Teixeira was there, unless he went to China. All these big Brazilians that go to Shakhtar are always linked to Chelsea, of course, for some reason.
Yeah.
That's where Willian came from. He was at Donetsk.
Soon to be Gunner.
Yeah. He also pulled a fast one on Spurs back in the day, too, so don't hold your breath.
Soon to be the Gunner, Willian.
You know what? It makes sense for him because he didn't fit in Chelsea's long-term plans. He wanted a 3-year deal. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Arsenal will give you 3 years. Don't worry.
You're just going to have some competition, and Pepe's going to get pissed, and then he's going to not want to play, and then he'll be sold.
Nah, Pepe's long-term. Pepe's young.
Willian's better than Nicola Pepe.
Oh.
That's my take.
Oh. Career-wise... Yes.
Willian had a pretty good season for his old age at 33.
He did. I'd be happy to have the good veteran leadership in that locker room. And I think that's why that move comes. And I think he ends up on the left side anyway. I don't think he takes a second away from Pepe. I think you go Willian, Obama, and Pepe up front. And you got a pretty formidable offense. Especially if you can throw Coutinho in the mix in the middle there. Just feed in the ball.
Oh, boy.
So, I don't know, man. We'll see.
Stan's got to open his pocketbook up first.
It sounds like it might happen. He's trying to sell in order to do so. Guendouzi looks like he's on his way out. Maitland-Niles, unfortunately, against Arteta's wishes, is possibly on his way out.
He doesn't fit into he's not high enough on the young talent.
I know. Arteta really wants him, though. Arteta really wants him, and I don't like that. They're going to go against Arteta's wishes.
You got to pick and choose some of these youngsters. You can't keep them all.
Can't keep them all, no.
You got to rate. He's got to figure out who he wants to rate higher: Reece Nelson or Maitland-Niles, because one of those two's got to go.
Yeah.
Or loan out or something.
Yeah, well, I think the loans might be done on Reece, so gonna have to make a decision.
He should go back to Germany. He succeeded over there.
It looks like Emery's going to do one thing to finally help Arsenal, though, and take Guendouzi off our hands.
He seems like a head case anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need more than you got him and Xhaka in the middle. They're both wires can be crossed at any moment.
Yeah, we need room for William Parate too, or Thomas Parate.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yes.
You're getting all these guys.
After Atletico wins Champions League.
Oh man. Stan Moneybags ain't opening his pocketbook for 3 players.
Yeah, well, he needs to be forced out, but that's a story for another time. I found a new Arsenal fan group on Facebook that shares a lot of my likes and desires and frustration. Yes.
It happens, man.
Arsenal has a lot of Nigerian fans. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
I've made a lot of new Nigerian friends.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good.
It's awesome. It's great. It's wonderful.
Where were we at? I got thrown off.
I don't know. We got on a tangent because Shakhtar.
Oh yeah.
And Willian and the whole thing.
Shakhtar,
that was just wrapping up the Europas.
Oh, Europa League, right.
Like I said, those are on the 10th and the 11th.
It's getting down to the good stuff.
Yeah. We got Champions League. If you want to roll right into that, just stick with Europe for now.
Yeah, Champions League is rocking and rolling. We got, obviously, like we mentioned at the beginning, Lyon got a nice upset win over Juve.
Yeah.
To keep their Champions League hopes alive and somehow getting through, which also led to Mauricio Sarri getting sacked this morning by Juve. So Ronaldo cannot pull one out of his ass this time.
No, unfortunately for him, not this time.
And honestly, Juve is a weird squad. They got a bunch of rejects on their team.
Yeah.
Seriously. They have like Blas Matuidi sitting on the bench. They have Aaron Ramsey playing. They have, obviously Ronaldo's not a reject, but
Aaron Ramsey's been playing well for them too.
Dybala is kind of like, can't figure out if he's good or bad. I'm not really sure. Cuadrado's on that team.
Diego Costa.
Yeah. Not Diego. What's the other?
No, I'm sorry.
The other Costa.
Yeah, Douglas Costa.
Douglas Costa. Who's a Bayern reject. So it's a weird mix of guys that were supposed to be really good. Kind of thrown together with a couple of other Italians. I think
they still have Buffon. Like
he is an Iron Man.
Yeah.
This guy is a beast.
Yeah.
Iker Casillas retired before him. Obviously, Iker had cancer, but
yeah, he makes Brady look
yeah,
like
Tom's like almost 40, and then Gigi's sitting there. He's like, that is nothing. I'm 44.
Yeah, I'm pushing. He's gonna be pushing 50. Just flinging himself around the box.
He'll still be between the sticks at 50.
Yeah,
quick as a cat.
Might get check out of retirement.
Oh, geez, let's not do that.
Please don't. He's good up in your front office. He can stay up there.
Hey, he's doing the scouting and he's meeting with the players. He's the one that's wheeling and dealing. Since Roman's still not allowed to leave Russia.
Yeah.
Oh man, tangents today. I don't know.
I know we're just going. Well, that's what happens when we don't have actual games. Like,
you just start spewing around some stuff.
Yeah. So reeling it back in.
Lyon with good stuff for them.
Yeah, that's huge for Lyon. Make it to the final 8.
I don't think they're going to have a chance in hell going forward, but stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah, they got a tough draw.
Who do they have? Atletico?
City.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where City can run roughshod on you. But that's a good segue into the Man City beating Real Madrid.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, from the start, it looked like Real Madrid. I mentioned this to my soccer group chat that Real Madrid looked a little on their heels. City was pressing the hell out of them and controlling possession, and it just looked like, I think from the jump, that Madrid didn't even want to be there.
Yeah, well, they had to play an attacking game, and that hasn't been what's worked for them in that run that they had to win La Liga this year.
Yeah.
They had to kind of switch their style up being down.
And they also missed Sergio Ramos, who I believe he had a red card in the first leg.
He did.
So
no surprise.
He missed. I feel like every big game he misses because he always just, again, the wires cross and he just loses his mind. Great player. He'll go down as one of the best, but guy just loses his shit too often to put his team in a bad spot. Because now you got to throw, I think it was Militao, who had to play center back with Varane. And Varane had a terrible game.
He did.
Pretty much gifted 2 goals to City. One he tries to head a back pass and totally whiffs on it, and Gabby just jumps right on it. Beautiful finish. And then the first goal was, I don't even know what the hell he's trying to. They're trying to play out of the back, and again, City was pressing the hell out of him from the jump, made him uncomfortable, gives the ball away, and it's an easy tap in for Sterling. It's like,
the most underrated man in Europe, Raheem Sterling.
Without a doubt. I almost said that. I'm like, this guy just scores goals.
Yeah, that's all he does.
And he's on a team, he's getting a little bit of mention with Aguero being hurt. But even now, they still were talking about, they're missing Aguero, and who's going to take the reins over when Aguero leaves? Is it Phil Foden? Is it Gabby? I'm like, dude, you have Raheem Sterling, who's still like mid-20s.
Yeah.
I don't know why he gets overlooked, but
he's constantly overlooked on that team, and all he does is put the ball in the net. Another 25-plus in all competitions goal-scoring year. So
yeah, it's ridiculous. But Real Madrid did get one. Karim Benzema having an insane season. He just keeps – he is consistent. Every season just seems like he does really well. Not the best guy off the field, but on the field, hell of a goal scorer. But yeah, I think Madrid just missed that cog in the center. Sergio Ramos being out just didn't seem like they had it all together. And their aging midfield, honestly, with Luka Modric and Toni Kroos getting a little bit long in the tooth. I think they really need to hoping their young players like Rodrigo. Hopefully, Marco Asensio actually stays healthy.
Well, that's why I was really happy Arsenal was able to hold on to Dani Ceballos, because with that midfield getting older, I was thinking that they might look to pull him back because he's been playing real well. So I'm glad that he's going to be sticking and staying put, because that Real team, their window is getting smaller. I'm sure they'll just re-up and keep it going again. They'll spend the money like they always do.
They'll, I'm sure, sign Mbappe or something like that in the next.
Somebody will be coming along.
Coming summers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, City get through. Again, like we said, City and Lyon get that next round matchup.
Yeah, which is weird because they finished a day sooner, but they actually get to play their game a day after today's two teams, which is kind of
segue.
Which is kind of strange, yeah. So we got Bayern, Chelsea. Obviously Bayern up 3 road goals.
Yeah.
Again, talk about biggest return on your money. You want to throw a couple bucks on Chelsea? It's probably not going to come out, but if it does, you're going to be very happy with what you get paid on that one, because they are big-time dogs going into the game today.
It's pretty much like Eddie said, it's like a miracle to come back 3.
Yeah, they'd have to win 4. They'd have to win 4-1 today.
And you're not going to keep Bayern out of the back of the net more than probably less than one.
Not with that Chelsea defense right now. So,
and Chelsea has a rotated side. It's not everybody's hurt.
Yeah, you're not gonna have your
Pulisic
boy
out. Obviously, Willian moved on. I think Pedro's hurt. The goalkeeper situation's a fucking mess.
You don't get your new boys in yet. You can't play them yet. So
it's a tall task, and with Bayern just running roughshod, your only hope is that Bayern's layoff, they come out a little slow.
Honestly, if I'm Chelsea, I'm getting as many younger players the experience of playing in a Champions League and playing against a team like Bayern and not even stressing this game and trying to stay healthy for the season that starts in a month.
Yeah, just maybe. Yeah,
you don't want to concede a game ever. You always think there's always a chance of doing something on match day, doing something incredible, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. And with the stretch and the amount of games that you've played of recent, just keeping everybody fit through this thing is got to be goal number one above and beyond anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's an experience game, like you said, for maybe some of the youngsters. Trot them out there, see what they can do. But, I mean, I think Bayern's probably one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I would say Bayern and Atletico are probably – and City.
Yeah, City
is the favorite still.
City can definitely put the ball in the net in bunches. What did Eddie say? I hope Chelsea can do the Liverpool miracle. Napoli could shock Barcelona if Barcelona strike force cannot score or Messi cannot perform well.
I already have I have Napoli winning this game. You want to win some money today? Pick Napoli either to win or to draw, because the way these betting sites work, if you draw the regular time, that counts as your draw. Extra time does not count, no matter who wins. I see Napoli winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time where, Barcelona tends to turtle up a little bit, choke it up, Reggie Miller style.
Straight up. Watch out for Napoli. Great defense, great goalkeeping.
Sneaky good.
Yeah, they are a very sneaky good team.
Because I think Dries Mertens probably puts at least one in.
Yeah, I mean, Barca does have the road goal. They got that late in that game to draw it up. But I would not be surprised if Napoli finds a way to pull this out and advance.
I think this is the time. If Messi, this is the perfect time.
Yeah.
To put your team on the back, because it's like they're another team. It's like you got Griezmann. He hasn't exactly worked out.
No.
Is Suarez hurt?
No, Suarez should be fit.
He should be fit. Okay. So those three up top, obviously. But, I mean, their back line is getting a little – PK is getting old.
Yeah, Umtiti.
Samuel Umtiti.
They got a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, Ter Stegen's a solid guy behind in between the pipes. But
I guess for what I would like to see, as a Bayern fan, I'd like to see Napoli win, obviously, because that's our next competition. But as a soccer fan, I'd like to see Barca, because I would like to see Bayern-Barca in the next round. Would be a great matchup.
Oh, of course.
So, kind of torn on that one, but like I said, don't be surprised if Napoli wins. I've had a few people hit me up that are interested in putting some wagers on the line and said if you want a good high return on your money again, take the shot on Napoli today.
Not a bad bet. I mean, they are definitely a good team. They could surprise a few people. I mean, I kind of like giant killers in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of them,
Ajax last year style.
All these matchups are set, even though these two teams have not played. So Wednesday, you will have at Atlanta taking on PSG.
That's goals in that game.
Thursday, you get Red Bull Leipzig and Atletico.
Minus Timo Werner.
Yes.
Which would be a different look.
Yeah, I would say Atletico is definitely the favorite in that one, especially coming off the big wins over Liverpool, and that team's been playing really well. So And then Friday will be these two. The winner of today's two will match up Friday. And Saturday is the Man City Lyon game. And all these games are at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So one each day. You got a full week of Champions League coming up. So
it's great. And it's on CBS.
Usually you can find them on CBS Sports, which is a cable channel, yes.
Mm-hmm. CBS picked it up. I guess Turner, with basketball going on right now, Turner Sports felt like they couldn't carry Champions League and the NBA. So they gave up the rights to CBS.
Nice. Good old Turner. I'm a big Turner fan.
Yeah, TNT, TBS. Gotta love it. But yeah, last but surely not the least, we got our MLS restart. We've reached the finals now.
We've reached the pinnacle.
This is it. Our month, the first sport to really start back up in this country after COVID. Very successful. I thought it's been a pretty entertaining tournament. A lot of parity, obviously, with Orlando City getting into the championship, into the final. That's huge.
Big time, in my mind, big time upset.
I mean, starting there, Nani looked like the Nani of old. He looked like Manchester United Nani.
Dude, he's on such a run right now. I'm definitely, I have him as one of my tops for tournament MVP, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think they win, honestly.
I think they can absolutely take down Portland. And you know what? And I want them to, because the majority of the people, include a lot of Portland fans in our MLS groups, were the ones that were just killing this whole tournament and being little crybabies and telling them to cancel it when FC Dallas slipped up and Nashville had their issues. And they were the ones calling it the COVID tournament and telling everybody it was a money grab. And now they all want to jump on the bandwagon because their team's in the final. So screw them. I hope Orlando takes this thing and Nani's polishing some silverware.
It seems to be that way. Portland's a good team.
They're a great team.
Don't get me wrong. They probably could have beat the Union more than 2-1, honestly. But
they could have, but at the same time, they could have also lost that game if Union capitalized. So,
on a few chances.
Blanco's having a good tournament.
Yeah, he's solid. I think that, Diego Valeri's been solid his whole MLS career.
Yeah.
Never count that guy out. Probably one of the better players in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he's a little old, but he still gets it done. And I don't know. It's disappointing, I think, for the Union to lay an egg like they did. I think the fitness just got the best of them. Just 6 games or whatever it was they played in a month's time I think it got the best of them. In the heat and the humidity, it's just some of the guys just look gassed those last 2 matches, and the missed PK and then the whatever questionable offsides call, which I think he was off by a little bit.
He was.
Even as a Union supporter, I still think he was off by a little bit. It's tough to reverse that one. That's one that whatever the call on the field is, pretty much. Even though I would have liked, speaking of the VAR on our poll question, great segue, I think that the referee should at least looked at it himself.
They're supposed to.
He hasn't that option, and that's why those cameras and the monitors are on the side of the pitch.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't feel, and the VAR official, they're unclear, just go over and look at it yourself. What does it hurt? Take a couple minutes to decide for yourself, and don't let a guy that isn't right there tell you, what the call may be.
That's exactly what it's there for. And I feel like they're underutilizing the things that they have at their fingertips. I mean, if you're going to have it in place, you might as well take every look you possibly can, especially if it's your own call. Go back and make sure you feel that you're 100% right and that you're in agreement with VAR and the whole nine. But unfortunately, some do, some don't. I still don't understand. I feel like it should just be mandatory that if you're going to put in a VAR call and VAR is going to be down there, that they're looking at it together and they're discussing it together. But that is not the case.
Yeah, I think they just are. I think as a whole, not just in MLS or the Prem, have kind of dropped the ball with VAR.
We need a VAR training class.
I think there just needs to be some gray area that needs to get fixed.
Yeah.
I think there's just too much gray area on the VAR thing.
Way too much.
That I think they should or need to fix for this upcoming Premier League season.
Agreed.
But yeah, the MLS, not too much to really dive into there. Again, kind of bummed, but I think the better team in Portland got through, and obviously Orlando, the darling, the Cinderella, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Getting through as well. So
offense prevails in that one.
And they finally got good coaching in Oscar Pereira.
Well, it's making a world of difference. João Moutinho's finally playing like the talent he was supposed to be. Mueller's been playing well. Nani's been playing well. They finally got a goalkeeper, it looks like, in this Galassi kid from France.
Yeah, so, pretty good.
The combo of all these things and playing at home, even though it's not their home stadium, they're still home. There's got to be a comfort level over anybody else that these guys had being in the bubble in their own city versus all the other guys, probably a little bit closer with their families too and things along those lines. So just the perfect storm for Orlando. And if they can keep it rolling one more game, they will come out of this thing champions of the tournament and earn themselves a place in the CONCACAF Champions League and get themselves in a good position to start the MLS season coming up too.
Yeah, it's I really think Orlando can really win this thing.
Yeah.
It seems like they actually changed the culture in Orlando, which is great because they've kind of been a doormat ever since they got in the MLS, honestly.
Yeah, you need Nani to show up one more time.
Just that last little push. This is where men are separated.
Yep.
Because you're on your 7th game in a month. You gotta dig deep.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna be in for a good one. Tuesday at 8:30, I believe, is the final.
Yeah, the 11th. Yep. That's another game on the 11th.
ESPN.
So a lot going on the 11th.
Yeah, I love it.
You got plenty of games to watch all day.
Damien says MLS VAR equals NFL replay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would say Premier League VAR too. You can throw that right in there as well because they've been all over the place this year as well. Yeah,
it's been
again, you got to be consistent.
Not using all you have at your fingertips.
It's just wasteful.
And leaving some, it's like, oh, what? So the littlest, your shoelace is offsides.
Well, they need to close up that gray area. Because you still have the gray area too of a player being offsides affecting the play.
Yeah.
Because there are times where guys are way offsides in the ruling of what offside should be, but it's not called because they're saying they had no effect on the play. Who are they to really say that? That's one rule that's always driven me crazy with this sport was Harry Kane will be 15 feet offsides on the other side of the box and a ball will come through, Sonny will make a play, score a goal, and they say it's not offsides because he wasn't involved in the play. But if you got a talent like that sitting over there as a goalie, your mind is thinking that you still have to factor for a guy like that. you can't say that he didn't have any involvement in the play.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've never agreed with. If you're offsides, you're offsides. It shouldn't matter whether you're involved in the play, you're not involved in the play. I don't know. I've never agreed with that rule.
It's a big mess they need to clean up.
Yeah. And it needs to become universal. The whole sport needs to, not one league versus another league. You're all using the same technology. You got to sit down and discuss, what's going to be and what's not going to be.
Crazy.
I see handballs left and right that aren't called.
Yeah. Well, that's another one too.
Yeah. Did you see since we have a minute, did you see my tweet to our buddy Taylor?
Yes, you did. You're soft.
He's such a little, oh my God. I've seen three red cards in this game alone. Shut up.
He needs to chill out and just focus on the game and not talk about him and John Champion throwing darts at the local beer hall.
Dude, this is English Football League, the second league in England. Like, you got to be tough to play in that league. Most of these guys are probably old rugby players, that have become rugby/soccer. They're not little punks running around the MLS pitch, getting tapped and laying on the ground, rolling around for 15 minutes, crying that they're hurt, giving soccer a bad name. They're men out there playing a man's game, and you are not a man.
Oh, TT he needs to focus. He needs to reel it in. Unfortunately, we'll have to listen to him one more time.
One more time.
God damn it.
He's making me love Stu Holden.
Oh, Stu Holden?
Like if you can make me enjoy Stu Holden, you're really bad.
It's just the banter in between, like during the matches. It's like, dude, I don't care what you're having for breakfast or how much you love.
No, Champion
golfing.
Actually gets annoyed at him sometimes. You can tell. He's like, dude, shut up. Like,
I forget because John Champion's using like British like slang, and Taylor Twellman's like, what? What does that even mean? He's like, oh, that was a great little piss wassel up the old Carson eye. He's like, Taylor's like, what did you just say to me?
Yeah.
He's like, what? You never heard that before? He's like, no.
Yeah.
Well, this reminds me of the time that I was golfing with. It's like,
I'm a white guy.
Jesus.
He's such an idiot.
Ridiculous, but again, Taylor Twellman.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah.
Good morning, Eric.
Hey, nice of you to join us.
Our OG.
Our
Eric.
OG original super
After
fan.
the first show we did with A2D, Eric was the first guy to message both of us to say,
yes,
thank God there is a good soccer show that I can listen to.
Yeah, and ever since then we've been buddies. We chat when we can. We really appreciate him from day one. We appreciate all of you guys, but talk about a true A2D day oneer for us. Eric is that guy. So.
Ride or die, homie.
Yeah. And he joined at a perfect time because we're running out of time. And
any transfer news you want to?
I don't want to yet because everything's still a rumor.
Up in the air.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it sounds like Willian is coming to Arsenal.
It does sound like that, yeah.
I'm kind of happy about that. Obviously, the one that definitely we know is 100%. The Evil Empire just gets better, stealing the second best center back in Netherlands in Nathan Ake, protege to the great Virgil van Dijk.
Mm-hmm.
I know 9 different clubs petitioned Bournemouth to not sell to City. And
Don't do it.
Bournemouth basically said, "Nah, we're doing the double. We need some money.
Yeah,
bye." And I think they even got shortchanged. I think about 40 million, which I don't know, for one of the best. I think one of the better up and coming center backs in the league.
Well,
And
originally they said 60, and then it was a 30?
yeah, they cut it down to 30. I don't know. I don't understand it.
How many pockets are they greasing?
I don't know because they grabbed
There's
another
got to be
kid
a little.
too.
There's got to be something like, all right, so in the media we'll say it was for 30, but you just maybe we'll give you maybe 10 more. We'll give you the money that we should have been fined
Yeah.
for, doing
Yeah, we
some
got some
shady
extra
shit.
left over since we didn't get fined, so we'll
Yeah,
just give that to
we saved
you.
a bunch of that money, so I guess you can have some of that.
Yeah.
Our freaking chump change on the side. Go to hell.
Yeah, they are now only referred to as the Evil Empire, so.
Oh, Youssef chiming in. How do you guys feel about Juve firing Sarri?
Well, you're too late, Youssef. We already talked about that.
I think it's great.
Adam loves it because Sarri was running Chelsea into the ground, and Frank jumped in there and saved him. So Adam's thrilled by it.
I love it. I think Pochettino is the perfect fit.
He should go there. He should go there and stay as far away from.
Back up the Brinks truck and give him the money that he wants.
Yeah, keep him out of England.
I think Pochettino will be in the Premier League before Sarri's sorry ass.
I hate both their faces. I don't like either of them.
One's way more attractive than the other.
Yeah, Sarri's way more attractive than Poch.
All those cigs withering his freaking face down. I guess, we talked about the Alexis Sanchez deal.
Yeah.
He's at Inter. Nate Aki was the big one. The rich get richer again as City gets that young Spanish player from Valencia.
Yeah, there's another one that they grab. I think about 25 million.
Ferran Torres.
Yes.
What else? Dejan Lovren. He left Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about that. Going to Zenit.
Yeah.
Zenit, the Russian powerhouse.
I saw Brentford sold youngster Drew Yearwood to the New York Red Bull.
Amazing.
A kid that he played 3 cup games for Brentford. Great signing.
Yeah, I actually started a Red Bull FIFA career as I showed you yesterday. And
yeah,
I've already done more in a preseason tournament and my first offseason than Armis has done in his entire time there. So just saying, Red Bull, I could do it.
Jokes.
I could handle it. Speaking of MLS and bad MLS franchises, FC Cincinnati back in the news again. 3rd time. And that's why I said I love those guys over at Turner, because Turner Construction Group had to hold a 2-hour anti-bias seminar for the construction crew building the new stadium. The stadium build got put on hold for a week till the Turner could come in and make the crew, because there was racist things being spray painted at the construction site.
Oh, no.
So all you Cincinnati supporters that tell me Cincinnati is not a racist area, this is 3 strikes in less than a year. And they're all going to come out, but they did the right thing, and they came in and they got the guys out. You shouldn't have had them in there to begin with. Don't tell me you did the right thing. You didn't do the right thing. Turner did the right thing. They came in there, and they shut it down. Apparently, it was a third party that Turner had hired, and they said, no go. So their stadium's going to take a little longer to get built.
Just back in the news.
Yep. Shitty teams with stadium delays. Spurs, Cincinnati.
And that's why Brian hates Poch, Youssef.
And that's why I hate Poch.
That's exactly why. Spurs.
Yes. It all came back to that. It went full circle right there. That's how we do.
It's on purpose.
And Eric just heard my little shitty, natty rant. He hates them too.
The army of the Cincinnati haters is growing by the minute. You're going to get everybody watching this show to just jump on that bandwagon.
Hopefully one day. Everybody outside of Cincinnati.
I mean, there's a lot of Cincinnati stands.
Yeah.
And they still believe they have a good team, which is very silly.
Yeah, so I'll use that as my yellow card, red card. Just, they suck.
Yeah, obviously racism never is good, but I don't know. I don't really have so much of a red card, yellow card. It's kind of, it was announced today that if there is any racial or racism being shouted or anybody, doesn't matter, fan, player, you will get a possible 12-game ban.
Saw that. 6 to 12
Premier League.
games right off the jump,
So they're really coming down hard on these guys, rightfully so. So they're going to make example of people who are racist.
Yes, as they should.
Do I believe Raul Jimenez will stay with Wolves? Quickly, no, I don't think he'll stay.
No. Maybe one.
Yeah,
maybe one more window.
Yeah, maybe January we'll see him peace out.
Unless they win Europa and get Champions League, then he's staying.
Then he's definitely staying. Good call.
Yeah,
but yeah, we've run out of time. Of course, we just
as usual
and jawing away. Again, we could talk for hours about this shit. And thank you everybody who was commenting. Eric, Youssef, of course, Eddie, our boy, and Damien as well coming in. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back again next week talking about some Champions League action. And we will have a crown. We will have a winner in the MLS.
And
who wins?
Probably some more transfers.
Bayern wins, Youssef. Bayern wins.
Bayern wins the thing. Chelsea may win the game today, though.
Bayern wins 3-1 today, 6-1 overall.
I didn't even wear my Bayern pants for you today.
Thank you for having my feelings into consideration.
Yes.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next Saturday, 10:30, right here, A2D Radio. Love you guys.
Later.